Okay, where do I even begin? I got a call from my grandmother on the 19th of November 2019 telling me that they had to put my mom on life support. They found pneumonia, they had cleared her out, so she was taken off of life support. We were in the clear is what I thought, and then they sat us down and told us the news. There was fluid in her heart that almost crushed her heart. Quite literally, it almost caved in on itself, and whenever they pulled the fluid out of that, they found cancer cells. And previous weekend before that, she had come down for a visit, and I knew something was completely wrong, but I had no idea what was actually going on, truly. I thought she was developing early Alzheimer's. I knew something was completely off, but I was not even close to prepared to find out and discover that she had actually had brain cancer developing over a span of a few months. The cancer actually showed up on one of her ovaries around her heart, so just the sac that's around her heart, it's in there, and then it's also in her brain. There's about 11 lesions in her brain, and the biggest one was about the size of a walnut. So if you want to put your index finger to your thumb and just look at it that way, that's like the biggest one that was there. So immediately I knew that my mom had to move in with me. I packed up a U-Haul. I packed her entire life into a U-Haul, and I moved her back here to Calgary with me and became a full-time caregiver right away. It happened so fast. I left my job. I stopped taking clients. I actually was a health coach before. I still am, but currently I just had to stop taking clients because she was just so sick. I kept wondering if she'd ever get better. We went into radiation right away. They did radiation on her entire brain. She put this crazy mask on, and that has its pros and cons. It was only 5 days, 5 sessions, so we did them back to back pretty much. So that took a massive toll on her, and it actually made her worse before it got better. She was a zombie, basically. She was a complete zombie. And meanwhile, I was staying consistent with her diet and being extremely, extremely intentional about what I was feeding her. Almost immediately afterwards, we were lined up with another specialist for her chemo, and I imagined that she was going to be getting it injected into her arm or something like that, and turns out she only has to take an oral chemo drug. So that's kind of the status of what happened and what went on, and I'm still, like, to this day, I'm still trying to process it all because it just happened so fast, and we didn't really see it coming at all, actually. And although my mom has a history of cancer, I guess never in a million years did I ever think it would come back. And it came back tenfold, worse than we could ever imagine. That being said, a lot has changed since then. My mom's moved in with me about 6 weeks ago, and as somebody that has a background of health and wellness, I'm kind of obsessed with it a little bit, so I knew that we needed to change her diet. She was eating way too many processed foods. She was eating way too much sugar. I knew as a cancer patient that she needed to stop it all immediately. I went a little crazy. I looked up every piece of information that I still am to this day. I'm still learning. Don't get me wrong, I'm never gonna stop learning about this. I found out that cancer survived from glucose most of the time. So I was listening to podcasts and doctors, and they were saying this, so I'm like, okay, what's the harm? So that meant that I had to put her on the ketogenic diet, which it's really important for her specific cancer. I can't speak on anyone else's cancer. I won't do that, but cancer typically thrives off of glucose, glutamine, and supposedly estrogen. Our medication that she's on, the medication that she's on is actually suppressing estrogen production, because apparently that is what her cancer thrives off of. I don't know very much. The only thing I know is how to feed my mother, and that's the only thing I was in control of. Otherwise, I felt completely helpless. I felt completely useless. I felt defeated, and I wanted it to be what was right. And if there's any way to starve cancer or to slow it down, I was gonna do that. Before, whenever she moved in first, I had to dress her, I had to help her put her underwear on, I had to help her into the car. She couldn't feel her legs and she was just so weak and so tired that she would literally get up, eat, and then go back to bed. Like, I do believe like you need Western medicine, you need like therapies, you need the doctors and everything to help that, but I do truly believe that this diet has changed the trajectory of the direction she was going in, because I hate to say this, but she was so sick to the point that I didn't know if she would make it a few months. Now, fast forward a few weeks, not even 2 months. To be honest with you, it's been insane watching how much stronger she's been getting. Her personality's back, she's a little bit to go get a wig. Yeah. Sing it, Dolly. All right, success. She got her hair. I think it looks nice. So out of all the shapes and styles and stuff like that, that was definitely the best one. But you're blonde. Yeah. Blonde, blonde. But oh well. Now we're just gonna go to the grocery store. It is freezing out. Like, it's minus 25 degrees, and I think it's like one of those things. Oh, this radio's on. Yeah, it's really cold out. So I'm glad that you have something on your head now. But we're just gonna go to the grocery store, and then that's pretty much it. We have to pick up a coffee pot because ours is kind of getting old and we need a new one. But that's the most exciting part of our day. That's the most exciting part of our day. We just got a wig. She's looking good. I think she looks excellent. Yeah.